guy?
We've been doing slide anchoring during the day, and myself and Christian just had a chat to this guy. He was a really sort of easygoing up kind of guy. He was a Canadian, I think. We got a bit of rapport with him by giving the Americans a bit of a hard time, so I got rapport straight away because no one likes the Americans, do they? So anyway, what happened was, but this guy was a real gentleman, really good guy. We're chatting away, and he started saying, you know, what do you guys do for work? I said, oh, I'm an engineer. And Christian said, I'm an engineer too. He says, oh, I've got my own engineering firm. So he said, oh, right. He said, we reached across, and I don't know, this just seemed to happen, but there was like chocolates on the counter, sort of. But what happened was, I said, so what would be your ideal engineer? And this guy had his own firm, you know, he's his own boss and everything, got a huge firm. I said, what would be your ideal engineer? He said, what sort of personality would you look for? And he said, oh, well, you know, I think I said personality, skills, and something like home life, you know, what's he like, you know, for home life. So personality, he was saying, it's a while back now actually, but I'll tell you the main thing he came out with. What he did say was, when we got experience, he said that the way he judges a good engineer, he said it's a guy who's got what he called whiskers. I think what he meant by whiskers was a guy who had good experience. So what happened was, as we started saying, well, okay, what's the difference between a really good engineer and an engineer who's not very good? And what we did was start getting the chocolates. So when he started talking about a good engineer, we'd slide a chocolate towards him. And then when he said, what is a bad engineer, we'd slide it away. So this went on, and we started going over these three subjects, and it was things like, you know, his ideal engineer would be like a guy who's got like very strong personality, he's got good, you know, good beliefs. He didn't want a guy who was straight out of school. So of course, as this was going on, we got these three chocolates moving. And this went on, this discussion went on. We were in conversation, talking about this thing, then we'd go out and talk about general things like, you know, what's happening in the USA and Canada and things. Then we'd come back to it again and say, oh, Baldy, this thing about an engineer. And then we'd go again. And this guy just didn't pick up on the fact that these chocolates were sliding up and down towards him. And he was like totally oblivious to it. And we were sort of thinking, any moment now he's going to catch us out. He's going to catch us. And he wasn't. So we'd get the chocolates, you know, and actually, bring them right up to his face. So your ideal engineer would be, you know, a guy with whiskers, a guy with this personality, blah, blah, blah. And he's going, yeah. And a guy that is not a good engineer would be a guy who's like wet behind the ears. It's a guy who's got no morals, this kind of thing. He's going, yeah. So these chocolates, every time we get them close, he's getting really excited. Now we didn't realise how strong this was getting until towards the end, saying, look, you know, got to go now. We were heading away, and this guy got these three chocolates and opened up the lapel of my shirt and put the three chocolates in and went to walk away, and this guy reached across and grabbed me and pulled me over and said, you ain't going, you're not going anywhere. He says, we've got to talk about this. What? He says, no, we've got to start talking money. Now this guy knew absolutely nothing about me. All he knew I was an engineer. What he was offering money to was 3 chocolates. So he pulled out his business card, and he gives me the business card, and he said, I can't remember the word exactly. He said, we want to exchange business cards. And I said, no. I said, look, the guy with whiskers doesn't need a business card. You just want to... He thought this was great. So he gives me the business card, and he didn't want to go. He says, look, and he starts saying, look, right, let's talk money. And this is the bit where it gets a bit scary. The guy I got him up to within a few minutes to $80,000, 20,000 bonus plus a 4-wheel drive. And this was 3 bloody chocolates he was offering this job to. He was already going to get rid of his son, who was going to take over the company. Because he was useless. I mean, we'd already blown him out. He wanted to offer 3 chocolates. And then that was that night when we said, right, this anchoring stuff does work.